Today's a pretty cool day because we get to do two things. Number one, we get to introduce Formex to the Windup watch shop for the very first time. So you can check out Formex online at windupwatchshop.com or come into our Brooklyn showroom and see them for yourself. But also, I get to talk about the newly updated Formex Field Automatic line of watches. Now, this is a line of watches that frankly has been near and dear to my heart since the originals released, as I was a huge proponent of that field watch in form and functionality. It was extremely comfortable, lightweight, well-spec'd, and still very attainable when you consider everything that you're getting in the complete package. Well, that collection largely lay dormant for a very long time, until this summer when Formex decided to revisit it and revamp those dials. Now, one common criticism that popped up from time to time was the fact that they were doing pretty traditional, potentially old-feeling dials with that little bit of aged vintage lume in the sandwich construction. So Formex went back to the drawing board with that dial, leaving everything else unadulterated in order to give you a bit of a modern, updated look and feel. So we still have that same great 40mm, somewhat funky grade 2 titanium case that has been hardened up to 900 Vickers, so it's going to withstand a lot of wear and abuse out in the field. And then as you kind of age those corners and age those facets, it's gonna look cooler and cooler. We still have the same screw down crown that we saw before, helping to achieve 150 meters of water resistance, which is more than most field watches out there. And we still get the same SW200-1 automatic caliber on the inside, so you get good accuracy and reliability should things go wrong. On the models right now that we're looking at, we do have that Velcro strap that we saw in other ones that are similar to some of the smartwatches out there. But these come on a variety of different straps. You can get leather, you can get quick adjust, you can get nylons. It's all just choosing your own preference as to how you want to wear this watch. But where things really start to differentiate is again with that dial surface. So before we saw that primary dial kind of sloping down to meet the center of the dial with that sandwich construction holding aged lume, which gave you a little bit of a dull glow at night and also gave you a bit of a vintage aesthetic. Instead, Formex has taken that dial, they have done a bit of refinishing on it and changed out that lume to include white or black contrasting lume. Now we have three different dial colors here. We have this kind of gray anthracite slate color. We have a very attractive blue utilizing black lume to give it a bit of contrast. And then over here we have a new fresh salmon, again utilizing that black lume for the indices to really kind of round out the overall visuals. Starting at its perimeter, you do have a blackened minute track that does have a nice curved surface to it, similar to the older dials that we saw, but eventually it does transition into this kind of sector format, where the Arabic numerals telling hours are actually at a recessed portion of the dial with a bit of matte finishing to allow those numerals to pop a little bit further before stepping up and transitioning into a sunburst central dial portion that holds the hours and minutes hand. Dial text is kept very minimal, just like we saw before, and really leaning into stark legibility true to that field watch ethos. Now, if you're looking at titanium, you're looking at a Sellita SW200, you're looking at really decent lume on these new models and syringe hands, which just happen to be my favorite. It's really hard to find a package out there that competes with Formex at this price point. For under $1,000, they're offering you a lot of watch for the money, and in my opinion, a really nice attractive dial option that gives it a little bit of complexity and depth without detracting from the overall design and intended purpose. Take them into the field, take them swimming, take them backpacking, take them on an adventure, because that's what these watches are screaming for. It's a little bit of refined elegance to a pretty stout field watch package, and really a nice update from Formex. Now, if you want to learn more about these models, do check them out on the windupwatchshop.com. There we have additional imagery, we have more specs that you might be looking for, and the opportunity to just pause and take a closer look at all three of these dial options out there. Make sure you're signed up for our newsletter because hopefully we'll be adding more brands in the near future, and you'll be the first to know about them when they do drop and land on our website. But that is kind of the whole story here. It is more of an update to the dial rather than anything else revolutionary, but still a meaningful one in my mind. If you did like what you saw here today and you're interested in seeing more, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. But I know your time is valuable and I appreciate you spending some of it with me today. So until the next one, peace.